Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Live here at Cornwall Park. Origin series. First half just completed in the under-13s. North have 4 points on the board. South 12. Corey joins us back into the commentary box. And Corey, first thoughts for the first half?
Yeah, I think a really good match to start the series. Tries to Halasima and Holmes with 2 conversions for South before Offa hit back with a try in the far right corner here to get North back into the contest. So plenty to play for in this second half. Probably a few errors in that first stanza that they'll want to clean up because there were a few sloppy ones there. Probably just a lack of patience more than anything. Remembering these teams will get better as the series goes on as well. This will be their first time playing together in a competitive environment. I know they will have had a number of trainings under their belt already, but they will get better as they go on. So we prepare now to restart play, and it will be North to get us back into it.
Big thank you to the Auckland Referees Association having the refs down here today. And if you are looking to become a ref, aucklandleague.co.nz, find the link there and make yourself available. Here we go. Big strong carry from the kickoff.
South with the better completion rate in that first half, and as a result they did dominate possession and particularly territory, when North were really starved of opportunities down in good ball situations. So it'll be something that North will need to change if this match is to turn around. And there's a big hit, 13 on 13. And it was Lua Falialo dishing out the punishment. Now South are going to move the ball on.
Good hands.
Difficult one for Richard, who skips out of the first one. This is nice stuff. Boy, he's had some good touches early on, has Richard. And just manages to remain on the field of play. Delamia Mahu shifts play on now, and it is Tali Salt who is tackled. 30 out from the line out, goes out to the back, and they find their playmaker and boot to ball from Holmes. It's a high one, which is contested, and
Play on.
Ball ends up loose, and South have picked that up. Is that 6 again? Haven't heard the call from our referee. For the meantime, we'll assume that it is play on and no new set of 6. Though it did look like there was a northern touch in there. Centralised now with a little run out of dummy half, and he's hit back there. Good contact from Neil Mata. They're not far from the line here, South. Building nicely, a little burrowing effort, and they'll get a try as well. Rodney Toipolotu-Vea, just a little heads-up play out of dummy half. The Mangere East man spotted the little gap, and it's all he needs to go over.
On the region of Origin replay, you can see good strong defence there. They were trying to slow the play the ball down, but the big unit there was just too quick onto his feet. And from here, there's a little bit of work to be done, but manages to dive through and over the chalk. 4 points on. So we wait for the kick to come.
So Richard to attempt this conversion, and hasn't had any real tough ones today. This will probably be the toughest of them, but he makes no mistake and adds it. And so his kicking partly responsible for South having a pretty commanding lead at this point in the match, Troy, and that's a dream start to the second half for them.
Yeah, absolutely, and not just on the conversion either. He's actually been strong. He chewed off a few metres on a couple of touch finders as they now get ready to reset for the restart.
Yeah, he's a keen athletics man, as Leon Richard, as we touched on earlier, and certainly showing some of those skills on the field today. A nice little run down the short side earlier where he evaded a defender and chewed off some good yardage for his side, so he's having a fine game on the right flank.
Now this young fella here kicking off, I think from memory he said he played a bit of rugby.
Yep,
Number
Shea
6.
Whaanga, his first year of league.
Just needs to back his confidence in this and get a bit more into the game. He's got a good set of hands, and he looked dangerous on his first touch. May have gone into a shell a little bit. Looked like he took a bit of... Yeah, he's okay, plays the ball.
Good carry forward there now. Breaks through the initial contact. Did Riggs Albert before being taken to ground. And now they come back to the middle via Halasima, who's caused trouble all day. This time he's contained right on halfway. South will head to the right edge, nearest our cameras, and it's broken down that time. It was Holmes that couldn't reel the footy in, and as a result, we'll turn it over just over halfway.
So North need to, again, we say, you know, mount some pressure here and get a good set of 6, or at least complete.
A number of these boys coming off successful club seasons at age grade level. A number of them appearing in grand finals over the last couple of weeks, all held at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. A number of them live streamed as well. You may have caught some of the action from those. As North now pack down the scrum. Fawanga brings his centre straight into it. This is Fissy Low. The big boys to put their hand up here, and just as we say that, they dance around and threaten to bring one of them into the action. It looks like fresh legs on the park for North, but they're going to turn the ball over here now, and South looking to make them pay now. There's a good little run out of dummy half from Naruhi Leaf. Quick play of the ball, Delamy and Mahu off to the races. He's taken down just short of the 20. Now off the back fence comes Riggs Albert, the Papatoi Toi Panther. Slow play of the ball in the end. Holmes dribbles the kick in behind. Now there's a foot race on. North get back to clean it up though. There's 2 bodies there, not too sure who's got the ball in the end. Scooped up, I think, by Terence Rico, Richmond Bulldog. Look at this good defence from South, just driving him back, and he's not going anywhere for the time being. Holmes involved in that one. The boys having a bit of a chuckle at the play of the ball as well. Nice low down contact that time by Tully Sol. North now move play on. Do apologise if you picked up some of the static on the microphone there. A little walkie-talkie trouble in the background. Nothing to worry about now as North are taking the ground. This is just short of the 40. Big crowd in here today for this match. And, I would imagine that's only going to get bigger throughout the day now. Messy stuff from North, but a little juggle in the end, and Andrews, we thought he'd regathered it. It's going to be called back for a knock-on from referee Paul Valley. And South will get another opportunity to add to the scoreboard here now, and you think if they can add points at this stage of the game, it's going to make it really, really difficult for North to get back into it. Just the psychological thing of what they'll be looking at on the scoreboard here now. There's a good carry forward, and this is Toi Polotu Vea, the last try scorer in this match. Now they jump out of dummy half and head towards the right edge. Richard was looming in support. He will remain and be the dummy half. He jumps out now and comes down the right side, takes a couple with him as well. That's a good carry. Almost got the arm free there. I wondered if he was going to offload. Instead, holds on to the footy. It'll jump out of dummy half now, and that'll get the job done.
Yeah, the pressure's really starting to mount now on the Northern boys. As we have a little look at the body language there. I dare say the trainer will be going in to have the chat.
Jericho Talisau it is who scores the try. Let's take a look now on the Region of Origin replay. It starts with a good carry from Richard, who leaves a couple on the ground, and then from there they just struggled to get back on their line and couldn't get things set up. And as a result, there were gaps there to be exploited.
Yeah, big gap. He just managed to got wriggle out and big arm over and done.
Richard, that's his first miss of the day.
Yeah, I told you this is what was going to happen. You can see the little scoreboard going up and down, ladies and gentlemen. That's because the big fella's playing with a B shift command control X backslash. Oh, the old days when we used to just put it up on a chalkboard. Greg Firepool would remember those days.
Interchange in the background as Richard makes way. Now, different interchange rules for this competition. 6 interchanges, 5-man benches, so designed so that everyone has to have a run throughout the series. Of course, the real focus of this series is that it is a development series, so wanting everyone to get a run out there and be able to show their stuff.
With the support from the sideline, you come to play and play hard, and that is the correct chant for today's match. Down here, and Corey's just talking about the interchanges there, and that has to play a wee bit of strategy into the game, especially for the coaches, in regards to when they pull the triggers and letting the guys on the bench come on. There we go, north with the reset, and here comes south again from the back fence.
Winds it up and is met well though. That's good first up contact from Vakalahi. Was really good in the opening exchanges, probably struggled to find his way in the match in the second half. They just had no ball though, North, so far in the second period now, as we see South keen to promote a bit of second phase, and there's a little stand up here now, and he's still going up the sideline, got the pace, gets away from one, he's got his centre looming on the outside now, keeping on going though, but they get there in numbers to close it down. Space on the left edge if they can get the ball there. It's where they're going to go. They will dart out now and instead head back to the right. What about that play from the dummy half, Jarius Dalmia Mahu, the captain of the southern side. Brilliant stuff, and they might still find points on the end of it. Nice little line that time to centralise here. Jumping in dummy half is Lavaka. Brings the big fella into it. Tuipolo Tuvea looking for his second try of the game. North have done well to recover here after
it's all on the edge.
Cut open down that side of the field. Holmes sort of kicks in behind. It's to no one. It's messy. North have cleaned it up, and now North look to counter-attack. Straight through the middle now, and cover coming
Look
across.
At the speed. Oh, he's out of the tackle.
Up
Still
and
going.
over the top now. They're just short of halfway. This is good rugby league here, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the region of Origin, and just as we say that, a drop at dummy half.
The kiss of death from Corey in our commentary. The pressure was on, and we're all heading that way, and we get a bobble.
But really good to see the young fellas backing themselves that time, Troy, and some really good pieces of speed, in particular just the ability to lose defenders there. We saw it for both teams there, some nice evasive running, and see the pace as well.
She was a good shave under 50 metres, that. And just a shame they couldn't capitalise on it. They desperately needed that to go their way. And now Southern feed the scrum, and we're backing up with another set of defensive 6.
So South now jump out. Look likely down this right edge to South. I've found a couple of gaps here now this time.
Replay it, yeah.
Play it. Naruhi Leaf. Lavaka the dummy half. Double pump now and space on this left edge. Looping ball up over the top, which brings Rimanui into the action. North get across to close it down. But boy, they're looking sharp right now as South. Good carry here from Mangi. Right up against the line. Riggs Albert.
Got the ball away. Great offload.
Promotes that second phase, and now South still going. Another offload. It's loose. This will be a North ball, I would think, and knock on in there in the build-up. So as we head into the final 12 minutes here, North need points in a hurry if they're to have any chance of making a go of this in the latter stages. Looking very unlikely at this stage. South so disciplined defensively and attack. Look, the team with the more energy. But really, Troy, if we think back through the second half, North's time on the ball, few and far between, and certainly almost all of it coming out of yardage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They've certainly done it tough. It's been a little bit of a struggle for them for today's work in the office. And some of the, opportunities that they've managed to create, they just haven't executed at the back end of that 6. Southern Boys certainly playing with a wee bit more tempo now, and easy to do when you've got 22 points on the board.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. As you see, Lua Falialo taking the ground. He's been good today. He's worked really hard for his team. So swing it out the back, and they get to the kick via Zion Purcell. Up over the head initially. The chase is good, but nice a little bit of evasive running. Sees the winger Proctor escape.
Great fake dummy half.
One of your favourite plays, Troy. We've seen it rocked out a couple of times this year in the Fox as well at College Rugby League from memory. Mount Albert Grammar may have been a specialist at that one. This is a good carry forward from Toi Pelotuvea, who has been their best off the bench today for South. Scored a try and been really damaging in his work. Centralised now via Boston Riggs Albert. South now really just looking to put the cherry on top on what is shaping as a fairly comfortable victory for them now. Directing traffic in the middle of the park is Auloa. It breaks down a little bit, and we'll just take a settler here and look to reset. Last tackle coming up now. Playmakers both set to the middle of the park. That is where they will go. Auloa kicks high and across. A real tester at the back end. Nicely scooped in that time. They'll go back to the 20 for a restart.
It's one thing with these rep programs, when you've got players inside, outside of you that may not have played with before, outside of having talent and knowing who your go-to players are, communication is one of the big keys to unlocking, success. And Southern certainly have got their comms down, to be able to do the fake at the dummy half. They've got to know what each other's doing. And they've had great chat throughout this match.
Yeah, and we should take this time to give a nod to the coaches involved in this as well. Of course, none of these guys paid. They're all doing it for the love of it, and I guess the passion of helping this next generation come through. So a big thank you to our coaches and managers and everyone involved in the concept. It takes a lot of work to get a team ready for a series like this, and it's opened with a really good game today, and the one-sided scoreline probably doesn't quite do it justice in terms of the contest it has been. Still time here for North to put some points on the board as Lua Falialo is tackled 30 out from the line. They come back towards the middle, and then they'll go to the right edge here and jamming up and in. South managed to close it down, but no one's on the outside there, North, if they could have got the ball there. Not to be on this occasion.
Oh, I was going to say it's a bit of a low pass. Made it very difficult to pick up. And
if you are tuning in for the other games today, ladies and gentlemen, 14-15 restricted up next. We'll take a short break, 10 minutes or so, before we get back into the second game today, and we may actually have a catch-up with Auckland Rugby League General Manager Greg Whaipu in that time. He can talk us through, I guess, the brains behind this concept and the thinking behind what the Auckland Rugby League are hoping to achieve from it, remembering it is a revamped concept. This is the first time it's been run under this format, and as Troy and I mentioned earlier, certainly plenty of excitement around it. Shapes as a big 3 weeks here at Cornwall Park. So we see a turnover here now, and North are back on the ball and moving play on, but good contact out of the line and put to ground just over halfway now. Lua Falialo. Space on the left edge now. This is Seal. Seal, he's going to be dragged into touch here. Play on the call. No, it's not. They'll go back for a penalty. Late call from our referee that time, and now North will have the opportunity to build some more pressure here. This is Seal on the ball. Tap and the go. He will run it straight back into the heart of the Southern defence, and up quickly to meet him was Naruhi Leaf. Purcell.
one thing I have to say, Corey, and especially for all our rugby league fans, is, make no mistake, this North team will take a lot of learnings out of today, and don't be surprised if, next week they turn it around by 20 points and come back. And that's the beauty of watching, the cream of the cream football.
Absolutely. Also the beauty of a 3-game series, isn't it? You've got time to build into it a little bit. There's Cully. Now he's taking the ground. Another of the Point Chevrolet Pirates in this northern team. They jump out now and head to the left edge
Great
now.
run.
And this is Purcell, who is still fighting Purcell. He's hung the ball out and gets the offload out the back. And then another bell ringer dished out by Tully Salt. Northern looking for their second points of the game. They head back to the middle of the park. This is Lua Falialo, who's tackled well right in front of the uprights. Ball's come loose. And it's broken down. Take your hat off, South, for your defence today. It has been brilliant, so organised, and they've worked hard for each other, Troy.
Absolutely, and they did really well to cut that off, because it was certainly well on outside on the right edge there. They had a couple of unmarked players to the North team, and it just couldn't get to the winger, and that was a try gone begging. So now they're back into the defence, and referee, the coach here will definitely be wanting to make sure that the boys tighten up on the defence. Not a link, another one, another big hit.
Peru Donaldson, who really laid a good platform early on in this match, now on for his second stint, as we see the ball now kicked up over the top, and it's cleaned up by Tully Salt. Still with tackles up their sleeve now, South. Lavaka shifts it on to Holmes, who goes high, but it's cleaned up well by Siokali. Gets the offload away, and why not? 22-4 down. Have a bit of fun, boys. Good line speed again, though, by South.
Great D.
Taking the ground deep inside their own end here now in North, and they've struggled to come out of yardage all day. They made a number of errors in attempting to do so, which has been a big part of their downfall. It's Lua Falialo now who plays the ball. Shocking pass out of dummy half. Cleaned up eventually, and just no real energy about this Northern team right now, and then the ball comes loose. So it's all broken down a little bit here now as we enter the final 3 minutes or so. 14-15 restricted to come up next. Big day here at Cornwall Park. Nice crowd in to watch all of the action today. Always good to see the family and friends out to support as well.
That wasn't in a thought. So it
Always
looks like,
good when you let the inner thoughts out on live commentary.
so you're going to see a set play here from the Southern team. There it is.
Robin Proctor.
Has he bobbled that? Play on.
And jumping out is Filippo Faumu. Inside the 10 now. Rimonui jumps into dummy half, a little cheeky run out, and he'll get the try as well. That's a brilliant effort there from the fullback, Mac Rimonui. Manurewa boy, a county's Māori representative as well.
He's had a great day today too. He's done some good stuff on attack as we look at the region replay. Origin of Origin. Jumps out dummy half, as Corey said. Showed a little bit of strength there. Had 3 on, managed to get across the line. Good to see. And just on all the replays, all of the ARL live streaming TV will be up on the Auckland Rugby League YouTube site, so the boys will be able to watch all of the replays themselves, and they'll certainly give that a thrashing, won't they, Corey? But for all the other rugby league fans, you'll see that along with the whole of the 2018 season of games that have been covered, and the kick is good. It's good to see that Corey can help me count today too on the old scoreboard. So not much time here for the boys to mount a pressure to come back and knock off that many tries, but it'd be nice to see them get one on the board.
Yeah, I think it's all about just building confidence for next week at this point for North and building into what they can work on throughout the week as well. Look, it hasn't been a particularly bad performance from North. They've just struggled to get possession down the right end of the field. Probably those early completion rates really hurt them, and then from that point on, they were always on the back foot.
Big wind up here.
Rodney Toiplotuvea, he'll go close to being my man of the match. He's been brilliant off the bench.
Trying to play it. Yeah, he's got it away.
Lavaca shifts it on and brings Filippo Faumu into it. The ball is loose, and this will go back for a penalty to South.
And it's the last their opportunity really for North. Clock's against them. These guys are going to tap and go. Let's see what they can build. Letting them run far too much on the meters. Still going.
Peru Donaldson, another carry for the highlight reel today. He's been very good in the middle of the park. Now they centralise. It's good contact, but Riggs Albert just shakes out of it and keeps going. Lavaca is the dummy half. Here's the last play of the game, and it will finish with a little offload out the back. South are keen to play on, but that'll get us to full time. It is South 28, North 4, game 1 of the 2018 Region of Origin Series Under 13 Open. We're now going to take a very short break. We'll hopefully have a special guest in for a little interview in the meantime as we count down towards kickoff in the 14-15 restricted.